music, a gourmet cuisine setting the mood for love. So whether you're celebrating a special occasion or simply each other, let the magic of the evening rekindle your heart. This coming last Saturday of the month of July, 1,150 Ghana cedis per person at the Phoenix restaurant inside the Movenpick Ambassador Hotel, 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m., 26 July 2025, and every other last Saturday of the month. For reservations, you can call 030-2611-1000 or 020-433-3136. Bring the whole crew also along for a night packed with rhythm, flavor, and fun. And enjoy juicy barbecue, glasses of beer, and a stage ready for your voice. From laughs with friends to sing-alongs with the family, this is where all the good times roll. For only 410 Ghana cedis per person at the Phoenix restaurant inside the Movenpick Ambassador Hotel from 6:30 to 10 p.m. every other third Saturday of the month. Reservations call 030-2611-1000 or 020-433-3136. Numbers again, 030-261-1000 or 020-433-3136. So that's the number you can call for a fun night out with your special group of friends. Now let's get to what the big stories are and what the front pages of the newspapers are looking like for us today. And on our screens, we'll start with the Ghanaian Times. Nolle prosequi in Unibank case, I acted in nation's interest. The Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayine, pictured with that story. President Mahama, other former leaders pay glowing tribute to Daddy Lumba. Individuals who validate ghost names will be held liable. A warning going out there. Veep urges sound investment decisions for sustainable social security. These stories making the front page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper for today. The Daily Graphic, 32 years ago, I've bid farewell. Daddy Lumba foretells death. MPs call for state-assisted burial. We heard some of the sound from the floor of Parliament from the MPs yesterday. SNIT's strategic investments, stabilize economy, digital achievement, a Diamond Jubilee launch. Ensure to protect yourself against uncertainties. Insurance companies urge Ghanaians. GTech begins arrest, prosecution of honorary PhD holders. Arrest and prosecution of honorary PhD holders. These details you can find in today's edition of the Daily Graphic. The Daily Guide, Unibank bloated accounts by 2.1 billion Ghana cedis. And again, the AG speaking there. Minority attacks AG over Dufour. Tension in Manso turned to chrome over Asenko gold mines. NSA scandal, 189 million Ghana cedis. Additional rot uncovered. NPP flag bearer race kickstart. And we are seeing some of the candidates there. Former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Honorable Kennedy Japong, and the Honorable Yao Osei Educhum. Today's Daily Guide has these stories and more. The Chronicle, Ayine justifies decision to free Dufour and others. Forestry Commission CEO sues Impact Media for 20 million Ghana cedis. Kochibocho Jr. challenges AG's narrative in Edu Boahin's trial. KGL Group's CSR achievements attract Bagbin's attention, and Otunfor petitioned to intervene in Tonto Chrome Asanko mines and pass. That's the Chronicle newspaper for today. The Daily Searchlight, political Attorney General Ayine incurs public wrath. Honorable Joe Beidu and San Luz's mother, Kennedy Japong, inspires graduates. I am where I am, Napo. Shattered to die, pastor charged before court. And Itrimam Puano Rural Bank records impressive performance. These details in today's Daily Searchlight newspaper. The Daily Gist, AG clears air on Dufour's Unibank saga. Minority demands transparency. Mahama access $1.2 billion bauxite deal with Rockshore. Afenyo Marking escapes NDC. Coup leaders MPs to ECOWAS Parliament. Kwabena Japong launches presidential bid. Utah University exposes Grace Ayensu Dankwa fake prof title. And 8 NSS suspects in deal with Attorney General. These are the stories on this paper. The business analyst, NSS Ghost Name Scandals suspects seek plea deals and offer refunds. Attorney General reveals Mahaman bills 11 farmer service centers to boost agribusiness. Other stories, AG explaining discontinuation of Dufour case. Ghana achieves record $9 billion surplus in first half of 2025. And the AG's conduct questioned over a Dubois Hines case. These in the business analyst for today. So that's what the front pages of the newspapers are looking like. We'll take a quick break. When we return, the show continues. Stay with us.
That is Daddy Lumba featuring, some other musicians from Ghana. The legend who's passed on, and our hearts still go out to his family and everyone who loves him, and everyone in Ghana and beyond the shores of Ghana enjoy and love the legend Daddy Lumba. Welcome to the headline segment. I am MALTITI, and for this segment this morning, we bring our experts to analyze what the big stories on the headlines and the front pages of the newspapers are. And to do this morning, Professor Daniel Bruce is a clinical psychologist. He is no stranger on the show. Prof. Bruce, good morning. Welcome back to the table.
Thank you.
Great to have you. Mr. John KUUKU DSANE is a forensic psychiatrist specialist. Mr. KUUKU DSANE, good morning. Welcome back.
Matiti. How are you?
I'm well. Rather cold morning. What's been happening this week for you, and what are you looking forward to?
Not a lot, really. All I need to advise is people to wrap up. It's a bit cold. And I noticed that a lot of people are coughing around and not feeling too good. Warm cups of tea and wrapping up, putting up cardigans will be helpful, especially for the old ladies. Because if you're not careful, they catch an pneumonia and then you have to treat and go to hospital, and that becomes an expensive business. So try and practice preventative medicine now before people get sick. Right.
I am always in socks when I go to bed because it's seriously cold.
Well, on my part, I am glad this morning because I'm inclined to agriculture.
Okay.
And I like to farm. So having heard the news that Morocco gave us 2,000 tons of fertilizer to help our agriculture production, it's a very good news. And that kindness must be applauded. This is what nations exist to do. The stronger nations must help the weaker ones. So I say a very big thank you to the government of Morocco, and would like to encourage them to help us in many other ways.
Right.
Let me also say a big thank you to the late Colonel Muammar Gaddafi, because during the early days of President Rawlings, when there was fuel shortage, he was also giving us petroleum products. People say free of charge. Those days you have those tankers we call Sora.
Yeah.
And they were cutting the petroleum product from the Sahara Desert to Gas. So those nations north of the Sahara, they really like those of us south of the Sahara, and I think they should continue to help us.
Absolutely.
May God bless them.
I'll chip in with the Moroccan government in respect of what they've done, and we say thank you to them. But it's also imperative that they've ordered aircrafts for the African Continental Trade Agreement so that cargo shipments to other parts of Africa can be rapid. And I would like our government or those within the agri sector, or those in the business with 24-hour economy, to try and make contact and find out how far we've gone so that we can lock up onto that system or understand the flight schedules if they do start the process. Remember, a few years ago, Ghana Airways alone was able to run the west coast of Africa. If we are to do the African continental trade to Niger, Burkina Faso, we need to have, especially for perishable goods, quickly send them down, come back, send them back. That's very interesting to know what's going on.
Mr. Always, you get the chance to say that, and it's appreciative that you always call for better implementation of the AFTA, Mr. Jani. Let's bring you the Morocco visa waiver, because also in the news is reached new heights with over 1,200 Ghanaians being granted visas to Morocco since that visa waiver agreement took effect, and this surpasses the 1,500 issued in all of 2024. So the Foreign Affairs Minister of Ghana, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, attributes this to a surge in deepening ties between the two nations. Let's bring you that video.
The visa waiver agreement between Ghana and Morocco is set to enhance trade, economic ties, cultural exchanges, education, tourism and expertise sharing. This development follows Minister Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa's recent visit to Morocco, which yielded increased partnerships across various sectors.
But in just 2 months, June and July, since we signed this agreement, you have 1,200 Ghanaians traveling to Morocco. The Kingdom of Morocco, based on these numbers, has informed us that they are even making arrangements to increase the flight arrangements that they have between Morocco and Ghana. So, on our part, as a government, we have also reciprocated. And I'm delighted to announce that we have also put in place similar measures for Moroccans to travel to Ghana visa-free, and that has also come into effect.
Beyond this, he announced that Morocco is set to establish a fertilizer production hub in Ghana.
At the technical cooperation level, a team of experts in the scientific agricultural research space have visited Ghana, and they are in partnership with the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, our CSR, for us to collaborate with Morocco to establish a fertilizer production factory here in Ghana. We believe that diplomacy must be impactful and must be meaningful.
Deputy Agric Minister Mr. John Dumelu welcomed the increased flights between Ghana and Morocco, saying it as beneficial for his sector.
I'm particularly interested in the number of flights that will be increased between Ghana and Morocco, because certainly when we start adding value to whatever it is we produce, we'll need trading partners. And if we have more flights to Morocco, I'm sure our farmers and those who are adding value to it in the agribusiness space will be able to, find new markets.
The visa-free travel agreement between Ghana and Morocco expands travel options for Ghanaians. It simplifies the process with online authorization granted within 24 hours.
Isn't it refreshing to see, especially the Honorable John Dumelu there, agric fertilizers, visa waivers and trade. Let me begin with you, Prof. Bruce.
Yeah,
what do you make of the visa waivers?
Still Morocco in the news.
Yes, Morocco.
It's a very glad news, especially in the area of the waiver of the visa. It tells you that the world is becoming to realize that the economies of scale that were taught in economics, that some countries, they have advantages in the production of some goods that human being lives on, whilst others don't have. So in that case, if Morocco cannot produce cocoa, we can produce. So they can take advantage of that, our ability to produce cocoa, and help us, like they have given us the fertilizer. Now, no matter what, when you produce the cocoa, we'll send it to them. There are some things too, they too can produce, we can also not produce. This is how God created the world, that no one can be entirely independent of the other person. So they are just showing the way that it is now right for all African countries to begin to see that, look, we are all one, brothers and sisters. If I'm rich, come to me. And provided you can abide by the rules and regulations in my country, you are free to stay. It is also telling us that we are beginning to realize that racism will not help us. So if Morocco, their skin is different from ours, and they say, you come there, it tells you something.
Right.
It tells you something.
I wanted to ask what it tells about Ghanaians as a people as well.
Yeah. So, for instance, those of us who have this skin, and we feel inferior in the presence of those with the white skin. Now the white man tell you that it doesn't matter the skin color. You come and stay with me and do your job. So that inferiority complex too will begin to take, get out of us.
Right.
And then we are beginning to see that, you see, beneath the skin, we are the same.
Absolutely.
The blood is the same. It is not in any color. The color is the same. So if we are able to do away with racism, I think the African continent, we can exchange human resource capital, and we are going to develop our own country, and there will not be the need for any African to travel to Europe, the Americas, the Canadas, to go and suffer. Look at how we are suffering in this cold. That place is colder than here. And you work and you use all the money to heat yourself.
Right.
You see the point? But Africa is hot.
Okay.
So if we develop Africa, it's to our own benefit.
Yeah.
And it is to those of us who are in South. Like what my brothers and sisters in Ghana say, Nigerians are dominating. Let's regulate the market, that everybody know that this is my track. Work in it, so that it will not be seen as say we Africans ourselves, we are against the progress of each other.
Right.
Let's begin to laugh. And laugh to persist everything. You see that everybody will be happy in the continent. So thanks to Morocco, and let's also praise Kenya. It's also if it's a free country.
Yes.
If you want to go, you can go at any
And I
time.
think South Africa too.
Yes, South
Even
Africa also.
So we are beginning to. So Togo must hear that you don't need visa to go to Togo. They must open the border.
Who are just
Yeah. And Cote d'Ivoire. You see, when you want to go to Cote d'Ivoire now, you have to apply for a visa. Look at what Morocco, Kenya, and South Africa is doing. You see, comparatively, these countries, I would wish to even go to South Africa than going to Cote d'Ivoire. But where I don't need visa. So for education-wise, it's exchange of knowledge. You see, if you are good at technology, you can ask Ghanaians to come there, study your technology, and get back to Ghana to develop. So it's a good beginning. It's a good beginning. May they continue like that.
Okay. Mr. Jani, you are the afterman.
Yeah, I'm excited at it. And I think the Americans have seen something in Ghana. They probably have seen how the president is making his moves on the agri sector. And that is why they've brought the fertilizer. People will not bring fertilizer if they don't think you have plans and programs and activities to as it were, improve the agri sector. This is going to be an excellent opportunity for those who are determined to make sure that the Greek sector within the 24-hour works. We have arable lands, and we have a man-made lake which literally divides the country. And somehow, we are never able to take opportunities out of that. I find that very sad. This is the wake-up time. It's not to do with NDC, MPP. Anybody who starts trying to politicize the 24-hour economy must be questioned as to what are his real motives. You understand? Because if you go to grow food, when you get food all year round, you have storage facilities. That means that we won't go hungry. People are still hungry in Ghana. People are still very hungry in Ghana, can't afford to buy food 3 times a day. And if we can have fertilizers to grow food in the cocoa sector, which is another backbone of the country, God bless Ghana. God bless Ghana. God bless Ghana.
Yeah, in addition to that,
Yes, go ahead.
once there's a goodwill coming towards the agriculture sector, I would like to appeal to the president that he should revive the quality grains project in Avaime. It's a huge area for the production of rice.
Right.
If we're able to do that, I think our dependence on China, Pakistan, and Korea for rice will have been reduced.
Sure.
And the pressure on the dollar too will have been eased.
And go like the
So-
Nigerian way, ban
Yeah.
foreign
But,
imports
yeah.
of rice.
So please, the quality grain project must be revived. There's a huge volume of water that's running freely to enter the sea at that
It's terrible. It's terrible.
You see, last 2 years it was spilled and it destroyed only people's properties and that, see. So I think Okujetu Blackwood, the Honourable Minister for
Foreign
Affairs,
And even John
he's from that
Dumelo.
area.
John Dumelo is also from the area.
Now that he's getting the fertilizers and all those things by his diplomatic contact,
Right.
he should see which country will be interested, including even Pakistan,
Right.
if they can come and revive the quality grains project for us also to produce rice on our own. It will make
Ghana
my
rice.
admired man Ibrahim Adams very happy.
Thank you so much for the expert analysis on this. Quality Grains Project is the call by Prof. Bruce to the ministers in charge, the Foreign Affairs Minister and the Deputy Agric Minister, John Dumelo, with the fertilizers that Morocco has given to Ghana for partnership ties. Let's bring you this worrying issue and conflict so that my guests will talk on it. And it's the Northern Development Forum who have issued a statement on the happenings in Boko and Nalergu, the chieftaincy conflict that's been happening in Boko. So the Northern Development Forum expressing deep sorrow and concern following the tragic killing of 3 students in 2 separate incidents over the weekend at Boko and Nalergu Senior High School. The Boko school is in the Upper East region and Nalergu Senior High School is in Northeast region. The incidents have sent shockwaves over the country, prompting widespread condemnation and calls for peace. In the statement, the chairman of the forum, Major Albert Don Chebe, retired, described the incident as dreadful and emphasized the urgent need for calm and tolerance. The NDF, a key development advocacy group in northern Ghana, appealed to traditional authorities to play a central role in quelling the tensions in the 2 regions. The forum also appealed to cessation of all forms of violence and implored stakeholders, particularly the Naire, that's the overlord of the Mamprugu traditional area, and the Zoran, who is the overlord of the Kusok traditional area, to call for restraint among their followers and engage actively in peace-building efforts. It also expressed support for the involvement of the Otumfor Tutu II in mediating a long-term resolution of this Boko conflict. The statement urged residents across the 5 regions in the north to be backing peace initiatives and reject any form of violence. The forum extends the deepest condolences to the bereaved families. Prof. Bruce, I'm sure you've heard of this fatal shooting of these 2 students.
It's unfortunate. We should realize that it is through education that will produce the necessary human resource for Ghana. Those students who die, just let's imagine, they are destined to become engineers, pilots, agriculturalists, even presidents. But now that they are killed, all those dreams and ambition is over. We have deprived Ghana of their possible use as desirable members of the society right now. All that their parents have gone through with the expectation that one day this will be our contribution to the development of Ghana is truncated. They cannot be happy. You see, so I don't know how, maybe somebody trade them and release information that they are connected to some
I did hear that one of the students is Bimoba, and this conflict is between the Mamprisis and the Kusasis for that chieftaincy seat. This Bimoba student had nothing to do with it, so innocently just died.
We just want to appeal to people that, you see, guilt is worse than jail. You may kill today, nobody sees you, but you live to confess. Otherwise, there's no way you'll be free within yourself. So people who are doing all those things, they are happy today you'll be happy. But I can assure you that the guilt that will follow you alone will deprive you of so many pleasure, so many enjoyment. Everywhere you are jittery, you are somebody will discover me now that I killed and not.
Right, it's true.
Yeah. So let's leave them, let them go. But I can assure you that the guilt that will follow them will be worse than sending them to Nsawam prison. They will one day leave to confess and ask for forgiveness.
Do you think the Otumfo mediating this conflict to bring lasting peace to that area is, the way to go?
You see, the political aroma around the king Osetutu is so heavy that wherever he goes, people are willing to listen to him. And so we should leverage on that and give him all the necessary support and resources that he needs to bring everlasting conflict. I think people are so proud that when we were fighting, it was Osetutu who came. They are just proud. He has done it before,
right?
So he can still do it. But if he goes and people pretend that he's there, then he's finished what he's going to do, and behind me, these things are happening. It means we are betraying his efforts. Right. If he withdraws, you will be in trouble. You see, it is also good, but man, you look at what is happening even in his backyard.
Yeah,
the chief was just shot dead.
And it's from the same chieftaincy.
From the same chieftaincy. So most of the people from that place, the first point of call is settling in Kumasi.
Yeah.
So if their place is hot and they want to make Kumasi hot, where would they go? For us, the sea cannot contain them. We are overpopulated over here already. You see?
That's true.
So I think we pray for the wisdom for the Asantehene to do a good job. Absolutely. And those chiefs there too, please. I mean, there is nothing you gain from always going to war. Your children, they only know one thing: aggression. They will not know anything like dialogue. So if you offend me, either I take up a gun or anything to destroy you. That is what they are growing to be. And it's not a good example we are giving to them. So they should stop it.
Mr. Johnny, there's some, sentiments that politicians are involved as well. Local arms dealers are getting the weapons to these perpetrators of violence. Mind you, the defense minister, when he took his turn at the accountability series, said that government was working to identify these perpetrators who are maybe under the camouflage of chieftaincy conflict, also causing their own havoc, and then those also in the chieftaincy conflict that are killing innocent people.
So we must bring the evidence. Those who are involved, we must try and track them. National security, I'm sure, can do a good job on that. But the last thing a parent wants to hear is to have, as it were, sent his ward to school, either in the boarding or day school, and to receive a telephone call that his son is dead from a gunshot. Is the most devastating thing that can happen to a parent. It's not good at all. And I'm just wondering how this whole thing has migrated onto the campuses. The criminals want to scale it up. For them, murder is murder, and they want to scale it up and create absolute mayhem. And that is why when there was a curfew and some were going against it, I was wondering, how do you solve the problem? How do you solve killing the people if you say there should be no curfew? First of all, solve the problem. It's like somebody being shot with a gun, being sent to the A&E department, bleeding. And then the consultant says to the assistant, what do you do when somebody like that comes in? And he starts looking for a drip and all. I said, no. You stop the bleeding first. So you have to stop quickly that mayhem that is going by the curfew, and then start going through to find out exactly who these people are. I think they are cross-boundary. I suspect people are being paid enough money to commit gruesome murders on people. It is an example of what happened in the Nigeria incident where people were crossing boundary into the northern part of Nigeria to hold hostage to the young girls. Here, it's a savannah region. Hostage taking is going to be very difficult.
Right.
So the mayhem has to be killing and killing and killing. You know, around the Cameroon, I have huge jungles and you can hide within them and all that. So they will end up just shooting and shooting. When people shoot against the military, I wonder what their strategy is, or the confidence
to shoot.
The confidence that to start fighting the military. We should take more time to find out the actual problem. You know, they were probably talking about chieftaincy, but maybe it's just a cover-up. There are murderers in there who are creating havoc. We should look for them and jail them and lock them up for good and throw the keys away, as far as I'm concerned.
Mr. Johnny. The Nalerigu Gabaga MP was on the floor of Parliament yesterday condemning the killing of those 2 students, Nuruddin Mohammed taking his stance. The Majority Leader, Mr. Honorable Mahama Yaruga, also has condemned the atrocities in Boko and neighboring communities in the northeast and the upper east regions. I want us to move away from that and go into yesterday, the Attorney General, who took his turn at the accountability series by government presidency communications at the Jubilee House. And let's look at the National Service Scheme, because he spoke extensively about that and other major cases that his office is working on. He said it's currently under investigation, and the allegations of ghost names on the payroll scandal, which reportedly has led to significant financial loss to the state. He said in that news conference that 8 individuals implicated in the probe have approached his office to negotiate plea bargains, and he noted that the suspects have expressed willingness to provide testimony in support of the investigation. So Ghanaians have been asking what's happening with the NSS scandal. Let's listen to the Attorney General.
The National Service Authority scandal case was due to be filed last week, as promised, when we stumbled upon evidence of malfeasance involving an account at the Bank of Ghana to which had been transferred an amount of 189 million Ghana cedis. Out of this amount, 80 million Ghana cedis cannot be traced. But we found 2 checks bearing the name and account details of the former Director General, Mr. Ose Asibe, which had been used to withdraw funds totaling a little under 2 million Ghana cedis from the said account. We have therefore halted the filing of charges so as to await the receipt of the evidence from the relevant state agencies, including the Bank of Ghana, Ministry of Finance, and the Controller and Accountant General's Department. In fact, as I speak, the Bank of Ghana signaled to me that this morning they are going to deliver the entire, bank statement, for my attention. I am, however, happy to announce that at least 8 suspects in this investigation have approached my office for plea negotiations, including 3 former officers of the National Service Authority. Some officials have offered to testify against their colleagues, and some vendors and service providers are willing to come clean and testify as prosecution witnesses. When you build your docket well, this is the result that you get.
And yes, that's the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayini, talking about the NSS scandal there. Prof. Bruce, others are willing to testify against their colleagues, and so now a lot of them are entering into plea bargains instead of, processing and then going to jail. They say they will return the monies that allegedly they took.
Yeah. Well, it's a good news if they have realized that they committed a crime. And instead of going to jail, let me pay. But it should not just be returning the money. You use it for something, and so you must pay interest on that money. For the number of days, the money stay with you. It was a stolen money. They should pay interest. If they are not able to pay interest, they should suffer some kind of a disciplinary measure against them. You see, the national service is like career socialization process established to train the young ones who have graduated from various levels of education to learn how to wake up, bath, take your dress, go to work, stay at the workplace, perform your duties, close and come home. You understand? So it's an indirect way of training them for independent adult life. For which reason government says, if you are doing that, I will give you a token to support you, at least for your transport and your lunch. That's all. And this money, adults have envied this money meant for young people. So they don't want the young people to develop. Those people who are working, so they live, some are living in Kaswa. And they have to wake up around 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and take a class 3 or 4 times, come to wherever they were posted to. At the end, they are giving 700. Sometimes ago, even 4 or 5 months, they were not taking this money. But somebody was using that money for his or her own interest. You see, these people, no, you see, the plea bargain for me, I think they must collect the money from them and jail them on top. Why not frustrate the life of young people?
They should take their money up
These
with
are young
interest
people
and
who
jail
are
them.
struggling for employment they cannot get. Some, I tell you, they live on the national service allowance.
Yes, they do.
They rent accommodation from it.
Those in hinterlands and all other places. Yeah, except
You have
far
left
away.
the comfortable home of your parents and you are somewhere else. If you are not going, nobody will mind you. And it's compulsory and mandatory that you must do national service.
Absolutely.
You see, so whatever we have to do to cushion this young one and make sure that they benefit something from this national service.
Prof. Bruce, we've had these ghost name issues from the former President Kufuor's era till today. Why can't we end the ghost names, sir?
You see, stealing is in different manner. There are some people, they have detected some loopholes from the Control and Accountants General Department. That, if it is like this, it's easy way to go. You see the point. So now with the Ghana card, I don't know if there could be something that immediately you are dead, it could be discovered and your name is deleted if you're on the government payroll. Apart from that, this one, it will continue. You see, it will continue.
Mr. Jani.
Yes, I think Dr. Hene is doing a wonderful job. But I think people are more concerned about the oral issues and what he's doing about it. And that we must see action being taken. It is on the back of these things that people voted for the government, the sitting government. So he must validate what he's doing. But on the other side, the courts that has to operate must be functional. You understand? Because people's properties have been taken illegally, and they are still waiting to see what the Attorney General is going to do. So I would suggest that, yes, validate it, and in respect of Nasikanu Wahi, bring the money. You know, I even read something about what happened with Mr. Dufour, the former finance minister. And he was making some rationale that I thought was interesting, because, you know, if you're going to follow these scripts for years and you don't know when it's going to finish, you might even be out of government and the case is still ongoing. So cut it now. Whichever money you can take it now. You might probably even, for some of the properties, you might never find them. So what you can eye now and take it from them, and let's see how we can put that back into the government coffers, so that at least you'll be able to retrieve some of these properties. People are clever. They leave it with their auntie's name and their brother's name and all sorts of things. So find a way to
offshore accounts and all of that. On that note, let's bring you what the Attorney General, Minister for Justice, said about the Kwabena Dufour and Unibank case. Involving that former finance minister, Dr. Kwabena Dufour, and 7 others in the Unibank trial. He has defended his decision to file that nolle prosequi in the case and explained that it allowed for constructive engagement with both the receiver of Unibank and the accused persons to resolve the matter beyond criminal prosecution. Let's bring you that.
Lastly, in respect of the case at hand, 100% recovery was not possible and a conviction was not guaranteed. In the circumstances, my team and I agreed to set a realistic threshold of 60% recovery. Sorry. We recovered 824 million worth of assets, which will be handed over to the state, and established a structured pathway for recovering the additional 1.2 billion Ghana cedis through the civil, process. And these are monies that are being held by third parties that owed Unibank, including, for instance, and I think that this is very important, contractors owed Unibank at the time that it was placed in administration 2.9 billion Ghana cedis. Unibank made overtures to the state to say, look, the Minister of Finance, pay the contractors and let the contractors, because they will be paid through our bank, we can take the 2.9 billion and we can satisfy our books will, improve, and we can stay afloat as a bank. The then Minister of Finance flatly rejected that and put and with the help of the Bank of Ghana, put Unibank into the situation in which we find ourselves. All right? Our current finance minister could have put NIB through the same process, right? But instead of using money to collapse a bank, the Honorable Atuforsen has used the money to revive it, for it to keep jobs and then continue to operate in the banking sector. That is what is called wisdom in governance.
Dr. Dominic Ayeni, more from that accountability series. I'll begin with you, Prof. Bruce.
Yeah, like my colleague praised him, I also want to praise him. He's doing a good job, exposing a lot of things to us. One of the days you will not hear any of these things. But you see, Dr. Dufour's problem emanated from what we heard, that he borrowed money to contractors who want contracts from government. And government was not able to pay them after they have executed their projects or the contracts. They owe Unibank. So who is the cause of the collapse of the Unibank? The person who contracted the contractors with the promise that I will pay you after you have executed your project is the one. So Kobla Dufour might have got a case to back his claim why he is not at fault. Now, secondly, you see, you need a minimum capital of so and so and so and so. The same government is saying that we need the private sector to be labeled as the engine of growth. So if somebody out of his own kindness decided to be an entrepreneur and establish a bank and is going through difficulties, like the minister has just said that Atuforsen is helping NIB to stand, why can't we also do the same to all those banks that we realize that they don't have the minimum capital to make them stand and perform and operate as a bank, than to collapse them and all those people that they employ, they are now at home. Have we come or we have gone? So some decisions, when we take them, it goes beyond simple rhetoric. Oh, collapse, collapse, collapse. People have suffered depression. People have lost relationship with their husbands and their wives. People cannot go to church. They cannot go to the mosque. They have to become dependent on people just because one morning you went and they say your bank is closed. You see, these are people that we should be applauding, that they are taking the burden off the government for generating employment. And when they employ people, government reap where he did not sow. Kobla Dufour, out of his own initiative, will employ people. And when he's paying their salary, GRA say, you must deduct income tax and give to government who did not create that bank. So if somebody is helping you to earn an income free like this, why don't you support that person? Rather than destroying the person and destroying the sources of your own revenue.
Absolutely. But Prof. Bruce, you do know that also at the time these banks were collapsed, there were lots of micro, small banks that were going away with people's money.
Sure.
That as well.
Yeah. So the licensor is a matter of regulation. So the regulator maybe was not strict and people exploited that loophole to dupe people. As for those ones, it's a pure stealing. When you are arrested, you must be disciplined. You see the point now?
Right.
So they were also contributing. Look, we officiated a wedding for a lady who was working in one of these banks.
The collapsed banks?
The collapsed banks. The wedding, after 3 months, she was asked to go home. How are you going to manage your life? So the collapse of those banks really caused a number of psychological distress to so many people. Many people must have lost their lives. You see the point now?
Right.
Kudos to Dr. Papa Kwesi Indu When you are traveling, GN Bank, GN Bank, GN Bank, GN Bank. In my village, there are only 2 banks in that big area.
Yeah.
Across 11 miles, you see only 2 banks. With a huge population, you have to travel with money. But you see, GN Bank here, GN Bank there, that bank too is collapsed. When I'm traveling home and I see the one at Chopoli, I say, look at this. Somebody had built that nice building, employ people. Ghana government, you are taking income tax for development. You close that bank down. Now you are going to IMF to borrow money. You see, sometimes we want to plead to our politicians that when they are going to take a decision, they must think about the bigger population. They should not revenge or play the role of a vendetta. No, it will not help Ghana. So if there's something they can do to revive some of these banks that have been collapsed, we are all in for it. There are a number of our young ones going around, they don't get job. So if these banks are revived, they will go and get employment over there. So whatever they can do to sanitize the banking sector, we are in for it so that our brothers and sisters will have gotten some comfort by getting employment over there. They are remaining in the home and still at the age of 25, 26, we are still depending upon your parents. Meanwhile, your stomach size has changed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What if I have parents? It will not suffice you.
In compartments.
Mr. Johnny.
The saddest thing that for me happened a few years back was the collapse of these banks at Mr. Ndum's bank. I thought it was the saddest thing that somebody could sit in his office and decide that close them. And they thought Ghanaians were paranoid and that it was a false belief that was happening. It was real. The number of people who lost their jobs and the number of people whose marriages were threatened and all that went with it. I will hope that Mr. Dufour is brought back and because the services that he was rendering to the public was enormous. I remember a similar case happened in America where a whole banking sector was destroyed by one man through technology. I think President Obama decided that, look, you can't collapse the bank. You have to resource it and find ways and means to mitigate the challenges that they have. That is the way you organize a bank. Like we say, GN Bank, Mr. Ndum, I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry. When I see him on TV, I say to myself, how did this happen? How does this happen? How can you dislike somebody so badly that you might think you are a king and that you might reign forever? And you are not going to reign forever because this is not a kingdom. You see, you are gone. And look at the mess that you've left behind us. And people have to pick it up. And you say, what? Look, Ghanaians, wake up. What is good is good. What is bad is bad. Don't sit down and say, because I'm an MPP man, this thing, I don't like it. It's ridiculous. You don't do that. If it's bad, if the NDC is doing something, so tell them, my brother, this one, they crowd. They will change. And this is the only way that you practice democracy. You hold them to their feet and say, in a nice way and in a polite way, that I think you are doing well, but in this area, we are not happy with you. So try and change your course. And they will change. But to try and break and I think they organized, is it the CBG bank they organized, the new bank that they organized? I wonder what impact that has had on Ghana. May God save everybody.
Save everybody, thank you. The minority had a lot to say on this particular case. Let's bring you what they said on the floor of Parliament.
Press release makes reference to 60% recovery threshold as a benchmark for reconsidering prosecutions. When was this policy introduced and under what legal authority? Once a nulli prosequa is entered by the Attorney General or the prosecution, we need not find out, and we don't need to find out questions. But he chooses to, if you read a press release, he chooses to justify why he had done that in the name of transparency. And that's why I say that transparency, as he had indicated in the press release, demands that he, the learned Attorney General, would explain to Ghanaians the principle of 60-40. The Parliament of Ghana, particularly, its Select Committee on Constitutional and Legal Affairs, to summon the Attorney General to answer these questions publicly. The Legal Counsel and Bar Association to investigate potential breaches of legal ethics and professional conduct. May this press conference also serve as a formal notice to the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Aine, that if his decision is not reversed within a reasonable time, the minority will consider its options of proceeding to court to challenge its decision in its entirety. Let it be known that justice must not only be done, but it must be manifestly seen to be done.
The minority still standing its grounds. They're defending how the banking sector was sanitized, especially with the Unibank case, and it says that it will be proceeding on a legal battle if the decision by the Attorney General is not rescinded on this case. Yeah, Bruce, let me begin.
Yeah, you see, this our minority. I think they have organized more press conferences within this 6 months. Countless times they have walked out. They went and sat on street in front of KUUKU. I mean, why? They should be in parliament and all. They are behaving as if they were not in government. As if it was another government that had created all this mess that the NBC is trying to clean up now. They must face the time. During their time, 8 years, it is because of the governance time. That is why we are having all these things. Their own people created all this kind of mess we are going through now. So if they are trying to rectify it, yours is to support, not with issuing threat. No. It's not about issuing threat at all. You see the point now. Right. These are our MPP people. They are not helping us. They are not helping me.
It's not a way of holding the government accountable.
No. It's just making noise. You see, of all the noise that they went and make at KUUKU, it could not reduce the bail condition. The person was still has to comply with the bail condition. Abdulmanov, they themselves, they say they are not going. Your own person defied you and went. If you went without the support of your party, something happened, the party should withdraw and you face it. But they are shouting as if it has never happened before. Honorable Ato Force and the economy minister, right. When he read, do you know what they said? They said, as for this budget, there's nothing in it. It's not good. They have not achieved it. But their own former deputy finance minister say, oh, the good work that they are doing is because of the policy that they have laid down. So which one do we take? Contradicting themselves here and there. You were here, just by only here. You are 10. NDC say, okay, if there's going to be violence, we are going to withdraw. And they withdrew. They didn't participate. You alone. People's legs were chopped off now. Amputated. They are not. It's because of election violence. It's not happening today. Teaching myself. People died. As to people who killed those ones, we didn't die. But their MP seated comfortably in parliament. Because of you, some people died. Nobody is arrested. So please, NBP, you see, you are a party that should check the ruling government. Let your objectivity stand tall. It's not just a matter of making noise. We are pleading with them.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Mr. Johnny.
Every time I wake up in the morning, I say there will be another press conference. And then there is. And then the faces are different. It is something that tells me that something is not going on right in there.
Because, and the minority says that with every press conference, they are checking the government, ensuring that it's not plunging our resources down the drain.
You know, you are in the media. When you have a story that will die, this story will die by tomorrow. With the TikTok and all that goes on, this story will die by tomorrow. By afternoon time, it will be no news anymore. Daddy Lumba's case is a much powerful story for us to be talking about. And so when you are going to make a press conference, you have to guide yourself as to when do I make it? Okay. When there's a war, there's no way you are going to make a press conference about food insecurity. Nobody's going to listen to you. So there are strategies in how you come into the media and make an impact. Right. So if you wake up every morning and say, hey, go and make press conference, you, go and start the Charlie, we see through all this. You want to hold the government in a more knowledgeable way. Look at, say, the 24-hour economy. What is it that you are not happy about? And make constructive criticisms that will allow government to start shifting. And then your people, your support will see that, Charlie, this time the people, they are saying the right thing. So, but the things that you are saying, nobody is listening to you. I can't remember the press conference, what it was meant to be. I can't remember. And like I'm saying, I went to see a chief somewhere one day and I told him, Nana, the new graphic by 12 o'clock.
Okay. I want us to wrap with this final one that the Minister for Justice talked about, which was he revealed that a review of the preliminary report on the missing containers belonging to the ECG has been submitted to the Criminal Investigations Department, CID, for further probe. Dr. Ayini discloses during the Ministry of Justice session at the Government Accountability Series. Let's have that.
I was given a preliminary report on it. Okay, I reviewed the report and I sent it back to the Director General CID to do further investigations. I directed them, and that is what we do in the office. When we read an investigative report and we see gaps, because all that a defense lawyer needs to do is to raise reasonable doubt, okay, and then the case will be thrown out. In order that we prevent a situation where reasonable doubt is being raised, we seal the gaps before we charge the people, and we have sent it back for them to be to do further investigations.
Yes, and
missing containers. Well, if evidence has been found and submitted to the security personnel for further investigation, I think we wait for them. Whatever is the result, the public must know. And those behind, they must be severely punished. Because this looting of Ghana is too much. Every day we wake up, there's this scandal here, there's this corruption here. People are being invested or taken to court because they wanted to do what we call sky train. We have never seen it. Monies were paid. Wherever. No, you see, Ghana went somewhere else. And so the research agenda, as propounded by the president, must stand tall. You see, so whoever is suspected of having taken Ghana's property, it must be chased and the property retrieved and the person punished subsequently. It is only then that politicians will learn a lesson. Politics should not become a source of acquisition of wealth. And that's why people are struggling. People don't care if people die because they want to be MP. Something is there.
Well, you still have to declare your assets even, and the president said that for his new government, previous governments too.
Do you believe that people still tell the truth? There's no truth on itself again. No. If you don't lie, people will think you are mad.
So what were we talking about again?
We're talking about the ECG missing containers. And I even wanted to ask you, Mr. Jani, the sentiment that the Attorney General should do the cases or follow up on the cases, behind the scenes and not come to the media to come into. But that's what the minority has been saying.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes validating it too much, but there should be action on the ground, okay. like the aura. It complements what he's doing, and people know that. It's not only talk, but action is going on the ground.
Right.
The Gen Zs and those born around the 80s are more educated. Mm-hmm. They understand rationale. They don't understand politics. Half of them do not know Jerry Rawlings. Half of them don't know Kutua Chiampon. Half of them they don't know anybody except from the last few, from President Atamil's time. So when they are talking about politics of the old, they can't comprehend it. They are more into educated guesses and assessment and analysis. So if you are building a school, and they gave you 10,000 cities to build a school, they know that, you have 10,000 to build a school. Your political rhetorics don't work anymore. We know that as data tells us. Mm-hmm. So every politician should be more concerned about the educated lot. They are the people who swing the politics now. I have children who don't even talk about politics, but they are more into academic work. Right. You think when it gets to how the healthcare is being managed he would go and mention some politician's name. No, of course he wouldn't. He wants to tell them, when I went there and I had diabetes, they had a syringe and they were able to inject me and all that. That is how you do your politics today. It is not the 1940s politics. Those days are gone. Those are old times. And so your next question was what?
so that was what I was asking. I was saying that, do you think that the sentiments that he's trying, but you've answered it. You said that action should be on the ground.
Absolutely.
So you have. He also, the Minister for Justice touched on the investigation into the Wontumi case. He said that the charges are ready, and he disclosed this yesterday, that all is set for the prosecution of the Ashanti Regional MPP chairman, Wontumi. If you have a few words on that, Prof. Bruce.
Yeah. You see, the characters behind all this that we are hearing, simply antisocial beings. People who violate rules and regulations without remorse or regret. So such people, when we get them, we should not spare them. Because if they get you, they will tell it is you who made them to do what they have done. So I think if the docket is ready, whatever process he has to go through, they must allow him to go through it. Because I've heard him, he boasted too much.
I was in a conference at the EELL over last week, and Erastus Asaredonko was there, the journalist. And the kind of, galamsey that is going on in Akonta Mining, which Wontumi owns, and the magnitude of the devastation was serious. 5 babies are in containers at KNUST undergoing research with high levels of arsenic and mercury, and in their mother's placenta.
Yes, but that's a problem, and we still need to be talking about it. But coming back to Mr. Wontumi, I like people to have their day in court. I'm not going to make any judgment on what he did or what he didn't do. When we get to court with the evidence, and then we'll be able to understand exactly what went on. So we wish everybody the best of luck. Let's go to court and see what happens.
Let's go to court. It's how we wrap this up. Charles Kwejo Fosu, who is known popularly as Daddy Lumba, unfortunately passed over the weekend. The legend is being celebrated, eulogized across the world for his impact in Ghanaian high life music, in Ghana and the world over. And they say that he has a song for every feeling and every occasion as well. So, Prof. Bruce.
I think our condolences to the bereaved family. And you see, musicians, they are talented by God to provoke our Olympic system, where pleasure generates from. And the musicians are such that whatever language they used to sing, it cut across languages. And it's a very high gift from God. And so such people, they make people happy, but their end is sad. I don't know why it is like that. All musicians, they make people happy, but when it comes for them to exit, they die in sadness. Look at Bob Marley. He made a lot of people happy, but he died in sadness. Lucky Dube, he made a lot of people, like Daddy Lumba.
Michael Jackson.
These people, they sing and talk a lot about social vices. And sometimes advise and encourage people that this is the way to go. That is their job and that's their mission field. But people who don't like what they do, they plan all sorts of things just to take them away from the earth. But I thank God, no matter what you do to a musician, they leave their music behind as unparalleled legacy. His music will be played now and then till forever and forever. May his soul rest in peace.
Yes.
If you have a talent, pursue it and you get to the topmost of it. May his soul rest in peace. However, you see, Chatawale, somebody said he has a vision and he prophesied that somebody or some group will attack him.
Yeah.
These religious professionals who are suffering from delusions of grandeur, they must be very careful. They think that they are so important that if God wants to kill somebody, it is God will tell them that I want to kill this man, so go and say, God will not operate like that. You see the point now? They just want to create the impression that they are very important, it's a lie.
It was a clamp down prophecies.
Prophecies, you see the point now? They are all suffering from delusions of grandeur, thinking that they are somebody very important. Look at that person in South Africa, that he has God's telephone number, and people are following him. To the point he said, God said he's asleep. How can a sleeping God tell you he's asleep? These charlatans that we have in the ministry, they are destroying the name of Christianity. And it is time we rise up.
Yes, I think we don't have enough time, but 2 minutes for me, I think.
Yes.
Condolences to the family and all those who loved him. His name will remain. The songs will be around for a very long, long time, just like Bob Marley, Michael Jackson. These guys don't die with their songs. The songs will be around for a very long, long time. I remember when I was in the UK about 30 years ago, it was his songs that we used for funerals and weddings and whatever. So I'm sure whilst we are here celebrating his death, those in the diaspora will be doing the same there. We wish everybody the best of luck.
Absolutely. Wish the family our best condolences through these trying times. Daddy Lumba, rest in peace. A good morning to Auntie Martha Adomako of the Ministry of Rules. She's watching and sending a shout-out. Good morning to you. Have a lovely week. But that's it for the headlines. My guest, Mr. John KUUKU DSANE, forensic psychiatric specialist, Professor Daniel Bruce, who's a clinical psychologist, and I learned something. He said the songs touch our limbic system.
Limbic system.
Absolutely. And so that's it for the headlines.
One more point. The funeral arrangements. I would suggest that all the funeral rites can be done in Kumasi or Mampong, where he comes from, but we need to do something for him in Accra, where logistically everybody can
so
rally
there's going
around.
to be a vigil, actually.
Yes.
There's going to be a vigil in Accra, and I heard members of parliament saying yesterday that everybody should rally and be involved and come out. So we will be at the vigil, definitely, to see Daddy Lumba on as he's passed on. MALTITI side, that's Adik J. Gabra on the other blue side. What's happened? It's the birthdays. People are happy. Today is your birthday, and Jay is going to be bringing you all your special dedications. Jay,